Hi, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are. Today I want to give you something to think about. I wanted to share with you some insights about the relationship between spiritual consciousness and emotions. Now, the first thing I want to tell you is that you will always have emotions. You cannot escape from having emotions. That's part of being a human. It's part of having a body. The question is, when you experience your emotions, do you get dragged into it? Do you lose control? Do you lose awareness of your spiritual nature? That's the question. Now, what you'll find as you progress with your spiritual life, as you develop more of that connection with your spirituality, what you find is that you start to realize that you are more than just the body. You're more than just the personality. You're more than just this person in this life. You are, in fact, an immortal spirit. You are the self, the divine, God, the universe, whatever name you want to give it. You are the immortal self that lives forever. You were never born. You will never die. You've always existed. You don't change. That's amazing. Think about that. You don't change. You never change. You don't evolve. You are the self. The self doesn't evolve. It's God. It's immortal. It's perfect in every way. It exists. It is. It simply is. And that's you. That's your true nature. But when you practice your spirituality, you begin to realize this. You realize that you are the self, immortal, free of change, untouchable by anything. So what does that mean for your human side? Well, when you are going through your day, going through your activities, if you make an effort, a conscious effort to stay in an awareness of your spiritual self, then when you find yourself in a situation that you feel some emotions coming, so somebody wants to have an argument with you, or something happens and you start to feel emotions in your body, you will feel those emotions as always, but because you have that awareness that you are more than just the body or more than just this personality, then you're able to observe those emotions from a sort of a distant perspective. You can watch them as they go through your body and use the body, because that's very helpful. Use the body as it's the physiological feelings of the emotions. The adrenaline, your heart rate goes up, maybe you start to sort of sweat or whatever. These are physiological symptoms of emotions. And you can use that to tell you, oh, okay, there's some emotions coming. And just be conscious of that and stay in your spiritual awareness. Stay rooted with your spiritual awareness. Stay in that realization that you are the immortal self, that you are untouchable by anything. And then what happens is that you feel the emotions coming in your body, and the personality has to act with those emotions. It has to respond to other people. It has to communicate in the context of this argument or whatever is the situation. The personality is doing all those actions, but your consciousness is rooted in the self, in the immortal self, in the divine. And from that position, you can give instructions to your personality, the person. You can give the instructions and guide and tell him or her what to do, what to say, and how to react. And that way you don't get lost in the emotions. You don't get drawn into it. You don't lose control and end up shouting and swearing and whatever. So you maintain that position rooted in your immortal self. You continue to go through the process of that emotion in the context of that situation, but because you're acting from that perspective of infinite bliss and consciousness, you can guide your personality and tell, almost like telling him what to say and what to do. And in this way, you're not going to make things worse. You're not going to lose control. You'll be able to deal with the emotions, and you'll be able to say the things which are necessary to create a constructive resolution to the situation. So that's what I wanted to say for you today, and I want you to just think about that, and it's something really to meditate on, because it really is about understanding that this personality that lives in this life, in this body, with this name, this person, Jamie, this is just a temporary person that is acting in this life. You, the immortal self, are unchangeable. You're using this person to evolve, to learn, and to actually put the will of God, the will of divine, into the world to express your purpose. So stay rooted in the consciousness and the feeling of the immortal self, and you'll be able to manage the emotions as they come. You'll be able to feel the physiological effects, and that will tell you, uh-oh, here comes an emotion. I must make sure to stay in my immortal self. All right, so I hope that gives you something to think about.